Today I'll be doing an unboxing and setup of the iPhone 16e, the cheapest, newest phone from Apple in the black color, one of two colors that you can choose from anyways. But I'm kicking off this unboxing video with the unboxing actually of the packaging because I did buy this straight from apple.com, and if you don't know already, Apple designs their own packaging, so you can see there's that easy to rip pull tab and a clever cardboard design folding in on itself to provide the padding for the actual iPhone box here. Now, taking a look at the actual box itself, as with pretty much every iPhone these days, it has a slightly embossed true to size rendering of the front of the phone, just the word iPhone printed on both of the long sides, and then Apple logo in black, regardless of which color you picked on the short sides. On the back, you'll find iPhone 16e designed by Apple in California. Some of the things that's included in the box, which is basically just the phone and the USB-C cable. Towards the bottom, you'll find model-specific stuff, including the color and the storage capacity, plus the serial number, IMEI, and such. Now to release the cover with these pull tabs. And here is the iPhone 16e in the matte black color. And in the back inside cover, there's actually a little indentation for where the camera bump is. Goes to show just how precise Apple's packaging is. But we'll get up and personal with this phone in just a minute. Let's take a look at what else comes in the box these days. And you do get a USB-C to USB-C braided 1 meter long or 3.3 foot long cable onto the paperwork underneath. This deceptively thick pill-shaped piece of paper just has iPhone on one side, and I noticed that you now have eSIM, no physical SIM card tray anymore. The other piece of paper is basically safety or regulatory information and warranty information. Feel free to pause if you want to read it in more detail, but let's go ahead and move on to the star of the show, the iPhone 16e in the flesh. So protecting the screen is a very simple white sheet of wax paper, but it does have icons to indicate what each button does. And I do say button because there's no more switches left. You have the action button, which is right above the volume buttons, and then the single button on the right hand side is your power button. And it does look like they did a good job hiding that 5G antenna band. If you saw my iPhone 13 and 15 unboxings, there was a big pill shape also on the right hand side, but it's invisible on the iPhone 16e here. But the only other indication is the charging port there on the bottom, which is of course USB-C, and you have the usual speaker grills also on the bottom. As the cheapest iPhone to date, it does have a single camera here with a very minimalistic camera bump. The back is a matte black finish, which I do prefer. It does feel a lot more premium versus like the glossy backs. No writing, just a simple glossy Apple logo. With the phone powered off, it's hard to see where the camera is, so let's go ahead and do the setup process. Powering on, you can see that it greeted with the familiar hello, and there you can see up close it does still have the notch that you can find on the iPhone 14 or the 13. But back to the setup process, swiping up will bring up which language you want, so let's go with English, and then country. And then this is where you can pick the size of your icon. For most people, I think the regular size is fine, but if you do need to have an enlarged icon view, you can pick large. Then at this point, if you have a pre-existing iPhone, the easiest way to transfer your stuff is to bring it close. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to set everything up from scratch. Next, you can select the Wi-Fi you want to join. And then it's going to basically connect to Apple servers to validate this phone. And then it's going to ask you if you want to set up the cellular at this time, if you bought your phone unlocked, which I did. And it looks like there's a software update that I can apply if I want to, but I'm going to skip that for now. This is their data and privacy disclosure. You want to read that, and then you can say if you want to set this iPhone up for yourself or somebody else, and then setting up Face ID and also setting up a passcode. Now it's asking me one more time, basically double checking if I want to transfer existing data from an old iPhone to this one. And then it's asking if you want to update your iPhone automatically, aka download software and then install it automatically, or just download. And then if you want to use iMessage or FaceTime, if you want to enable location services, and then a little bit about the screen time, and also if you want to send iPhone analytics to Apple. And then now one of the newer features, you can choose if you want to keep your phone light or dark mode, or you can have it as auto. Now this next part is the first I've seen it because this is the first time I've had a phone with this action button. So you can always customize or change it later, but you can choose to pick it now. So you can keep it as a traditional mute switch, or you can set it to a particular shortcut to launch a particular app, or you can even use it to like launch the camera or quickly open your flashlight, or even no action at all if that's your cup of tea. But continuing on, just a few more now. It's gonna ask you if you want to set up Siri now, and then you can select the few Siri voice options, and then if you want to set up your voice activated Hey Siri on the phone, whether or not to help with improved dictation, and then a little blurb about emergency SOS, and then finally, welcome to the iPhone. And if you're curious about the iOS version that this came in straight out of the box, it is 18.3. So that's a quick look at the new iPhone 16e. I will be doing comparison videos against the iPhone 15, so definitely subscribe to the channel if you want to see that. Thanks for watching.